You look at a company like this and you think, okay, they ship cars. Simple enough, right? But what if I told you that underneath that simple idea is a business model that's so powerful it actually makes more money when the world gets chaotic? Yeah, it's pretty wild. So, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You see millions of brand new cars at your local dealership, or even just driving down the highway. How in the world did they get there from a factory halfway across the globe? Well, it's all thanks to this huge kind of invisible network and some really, really clever companies running the show. All right, let's dive in. We're going to be looking at a company called Höegh Autoliners. They're a giant in the world of shipping. And their main gig? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. They ship the world's wheels. And they don't use your average container ships. Nope, they use these incredible things called PCTCs. Now, I want you to picture a giant floating parking garage. Seriously, instead of cranes lifting containers, cars and trucks just roll on and roll off. It's called RoRo for short, and it is insanely efficient.
Okay, so this is the bedrock of their whole operation. They've got these long, stable contracts. We're talking 2 to 5 years with all the big names you know. Toyota, BMW, you name it. That gives them a super predictable base of cash flow. And yeah, cars make up most of their volume, but stick with me, because that is not where the real money is made. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
All right, so now we get to the good stuff. This is where it gets really, really interesting. We're about to pull back the curtain on their first big secret, a part of their business that most people overlook, but has a massive, outsized impact on their profits. So if you look at this chart, it seems pretty straightforward, right? Automotive stuff is 75% of their business by sheer volume. You look at that and think, okay, they're a car shipping company, but you'd be wrong. That's not the whole story, not even close. And boom, here's the twist. Look at this. On the left, you've got volume. That little high and heavy slice is just 25%, but then look at the profit on the right. That small slice suddenly becomes huge. It's punching way, way above its weight class. So what in the world is this high and heavy stuff? Yeah, we are not talking about a big pickup truck. High and heavy is, well, it's the really, really big stuff. I'm talking about gigantic excavators for mining operations, massive blades for wind turbines that are longer than a bowling alley, even entire train cars. You know, the kind of stuff you see on the highway with a wide load sign that makes you just pull over and gawk. So why is this little segment such a gold mine? It's simple, really. First, you can charge way more for it. You need special ships, reinforced decks, expert crews. It's a premium service. Second, almost nobody else can do it. There's very little competition. And here's the kicker. Think about it. If your company is shipping a $2 million excavator, are you really going to try to save a few grand on shipping and risk it getting delayed or damaged? No way! You're going to pay top dollar for someone who can do it right.
Okay, secret number 1. Focus on crazy profitable cargo. Got it? But secret number 2, wow. This one is even more of a game changer. This is how they've built a financial fortress around their business that protects them from the kind of global chaos that absolutely wrecks other companies.
I love this way of putting it. It really is like they've built an automatic instability fee into every contract. The world gets messy, things get unpredictable, and they get paid. It's like a financial superpower that protects them from pretty much any storm.
So how does this superpower actually work? It's a simple 4-step process. Step 1, something crazy happens in the world. Let's say fuel prices go through the roof. Step 2, obviously, Höegh's costs go up. But now, and this is the genius part, Step 3, a clause in their contract automatically kicks in and adds a surcharge to the customer's bill. Step 4, their profit margin is completely protected. It's not just shielded, it's basically locked in. And this isn't some vague general clause. Oh no, it is incredibly specific. Fuel prices spike, there's a bunker adjustment factor, or BAF, for that. A war breaks out in a shipping lane, a war risk surcharge covers the higher insurance. Governments start taxing carbon emissions, yep, there's an emission surcharge for that too. Heck, when they had to go the long way around Africa to avoid the Red Sea crisis, they passed on the extra fuel and time costs with a diversion surcharge. They have basically found a way to de-risk their business from almost anything the world can throw at them.
So let's recap. You've got a super profitable niche product and a business model that's basically bulletproof. What do you do next? Well, if you're Höegh, you don't just sit back. You double down. You invest all that cash into building the fleet of the future to make your advantage even bigger.
Just take a look at that number. 9,100. That's how many cars they can cram onto a single one of their new Aurora-class ships. That is a quantum leap in size and efficiency.
And when you put the old ships next to the new ones, the strategy is just crystal clear. Capacity, almost double. But here's the clever part. They're specifically designed with stronger, reinforced decks to carry more of that super profitable high and heavy cargo. On top of that, they're the most fuel-efficient ships of their kind in the world. And get this, they're built to be ammonia-ready, so they can switch to a zero-carbon fuel down the road. They're literally future-proofing their fleet.
So, a profitable niche, a bulletproof business model, and a brand new future-proof fleet? What does that all add up to when it comes to the bottom line? Well, let's take a look. And I promise you, this is absolutely astonishing.
$841 million. That's not the company's revenue. That's the cold, hard cash they paid out in dividends to their investors. In 1 year. Just let that number sit there for a second. It's staggering. And to put that into perspective for you, that's more than a third of the company's entire value, handed back to shareholders in just 1 year. I mean, that's not just a good return. That is an absolutely mind-blowing level of cash generation. If you ever needed proof that this unique business model works, well, this is it.
You know, it really makes you think. A company like Höegh Autoliners is kind of hiding in plain sight. It's this perfect example of a business with a powerful, smart, and wildly profitable model that most of us have never even heard of. And it just leaves you with this one big question. What other invisible engines are out there, quietly and brilliantly powering our entire global economy?